2015 is gone. A new year is upon us. What is the first thing that we're all going to do as individuals? The first thing that we're going to do is we're all going to create a New Year's resolution. So I wanted to talk to you guys, as well as myself, for just a few minutes about 2016. So a new year is upon us. 2016 is here. The first thing that we're going to do is make a New Year's resolution. And the number one thing that we're going to do is usually losing weight or something in that category. So what are some things, what are some precautions that we can make that we can actually reach these goals? And I wanted to talk to you about 4 different points really fast. The first point that we need to make is that we need to make sure that we keep our goals realistic. The number one reason for most of our failures is that we don't make our goals realistic. We're going to have to figure out when we can actually accomplish our goal. Into our schedule. Is it going to be something that's reality? Is it going to be realistic? These are things that we got to think about. The second thing that we need to think about is it needs to be a lifestyle change. In other words, it can't be just a New Year's resolution. It has to be a lifestyle change. It has to be something that is going to give us a new direction. What are we going to do in our everyday activity that's going to change to make us do this new goal that we have inside of our lives? This new activity that we are wanting to go. Whatever category it is in 2016, make sure that it's a lifestyle change. The third thing that we need to think about is what are we going to do if we fail? Of course we're all going to fail. But you have to remember that failure is not the end. Failure is just a way of learning. It is a way of understanding that that's not what I need to do, and I need to do this instead of this. Failure is just learning for us as adults. So we need to have an action plan. What are we going to do when we fail? Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. Always remember, failure is just another opportunity to refine our process and to make it better than we did the first time. And after we fail, what are we going to do to restart our new goal? The final thing, which is really simple, which is actually a lot of work, and is something that we really don't do. We need to track our progress. If we don't track our progress, we don't know how far we have come. We don't know where we have started and where we need to end, whatever kind of goal it may be. We have to have some way to maybe journal our progress, maybe make a mental note of our progress, maybe put it in a spreadsheet to keep up with our progress and see how far we have come. So then that way we can say, you know what, I've made it. You know what, I've accomplished my goal. I've actually done something in my life. You have something to look at. You have a physical piece of information to look back at and say, you know what, this is where I started and this is where I ended up. And because I did this, and so that's what's going to give you the next goal. You feel like you've accomplished something because you own something. You don't own it. I heard somebody tell me this one time in business. In business, you don't own it until it's on paper. If it's not on paper, you don't own it because there's nothing to own. A thought cannot be owned. A mental note cannot be owned because it is not physically in your hands. It needs to be physically on paper for you to own it. So we need to track our goals. We need to track our progress. And we need to look back and you know what? And say, I have made it. I accomplished my goal. Then that's going to give us reason to go to the next goal and better ourselves even more in the future. I'm looking forward, truly looking forward to 2016 and what it has for all of us. Always think positive.